Hello, everyone. Welcome again to the Phillip Siddiq Show. We are on location at Fat Matt's Barbecue. Get an opportunity, come on down and check it out. However, now we're with social media specialist, someone I've known for how long now?
Oh, a couple of years.
Couple of years?
For a while.
Yeah. Kat Engh. She's going to talk to us about Twitter, Google+, MySpace. MySpace still viable? Okay, well, Facebook, all those things like that. So, Kat, welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Tell us how you got involved with the social media.
Oh, okay. Well, so social media, Twitter, Facebook,
Yes.
MySpace. It's kind of funny how I got started, actually. When I was in college a while ago, we won't say how long ago, I decided, this was right around the time when Friendster and MySpace and Facebook had just started. And we were in this journalism class talking about some of the different ways that journalism might change in the future, and I decided to write an article about it. I wasn't really into Friendster or MySpace. People would talk to me about it, and I'd be like, I don't know if that's for me. And so I decided to write this article about it, and the only way to do that is to actually make a profile on these sites. And honestly,
undercover work?
Exactly. Honestly, I was hooked. MySpace and Facebook, Friendster really never got me, and I think it really never got anybody. Friendster's not around anymore.
Right.
But MySpace and Facebook, I definitely found the value in those pretty quickly. I started connecting with people I hadn't seen in years, and connecting with people I didn't know who had similar interests to me, and ever since it's been kind of a love.
And it seems like right now it's just like it's the quote, almost like the end thing to do now. Where you work, tell us a transition from them not knowing anything, and now you're putting them right at the top. Tell us that story.
Okay, well, I work for North Atlantic Books, which is a book publisher, and book publishers don't necessarily, I guess historically, have a reputation for being really connected. When I came into North Atlantic Books, we already had a Facebook profile, we already had a blog, so we were actually on the right track. But now there are so many tools that are available for people that are free or cheap for businesses that it's been really fun for us to kind of expand and try some different things. One of the things that we're trying now that, I shouldn't say trying, it's really the center of what we do now, is it's called nabcommunities.com. So that's for North Atlantic Books, the abbreviation. So, so nabcommunities.com is a web journal. So we post regular blogs every day. And then it's also a social network. So people can join the site, you can sign up for giveaways and stuff, and sign up and connect with other people on the site, and really get to know other people who are interested in the same stuff as you.
You also have webinars. Tell us a little bit about that.
We do. We are going to have webinars actually launching in June, which is really exciting. Now, I'll tell you the truth. With webinars, there was a little bit of a learning curve for us. My coworker Talia Shapiro and I and our marketing assistant Patricia Kwan, the three of us think of ourselves as being pretty social media savvy. We use everything now. We built this site from scratch on a shoestring budget. We have really invested a lot of hours in this. Webinar, there was a little bit of a learning curve for us. Getting set up and everything, we worked with a wonderful web programmer at Computer Courage, which is based in Berkeley. I have to give them a shout out. Mindy is amazing. I couldn't do this without her. Adam Schwartz is the owner of Computer Courage. He's fantastic. So they've really sort of held our hands along the way. But what's been interesting about these webinars, once we figured out how to really use them, is that we can have our authors from North Atlantic Books lead webinars with the people who are interested in their books. So if you ever read a book and you get to the end and you're like, man, I have so many more questions, or I really hope they come out with another book. What would that be like? Now you can do that. So starting in June, we're going to have authors go on our webinars, and people can sign up for it in advance, and then they go onto our website on the day of the webinar, and there's the author talking in real time. They can be showing them pictures, maybe showing them a PowerPoint, could be showing them videos, all kinds of things. And we actually have set it up so our webinars, at least to start out, will have two authors having a dialogue with each other. So our first webinar will be for people who either are tired of their jobs. Lots of people like that these days, or are looking for a new job, or out of work. And so that's with John Friedlander, who wrote a book called Psychic Psychology, and Jeff Brown, who wrote a book called Soul Shaping. Now, what could a psychologist tell you about finding a job?
Like Miss Cleo. You remember Miss Cleo?
Miss Cleo. Well, he's a little more official than Miss Cleo. But yeah, you know, people want that advice, but not just even from a psychic idea or standpoint, but from the standpoint of somebody who's really thinking about what you personally truly want to be doing and what would actually make you happy. And sometimes that's hard for people to figure out. So
this is so true. So true. There's so many new things that have come up with social media. You have, like I say, Twitter, Pinterest, Google Plus. Now I'm on Google Plus and I'm having how does that work? Google Plus and Pinterest and all those other.
Right. Yeah. So Facebook in some ways is complicated enough, right? Like it feels like every 6 months now they change things on you.
And
now
it just
you have
went
the
public.
Timeline, and they just went public,
Yes,
which
just
is
went public.
its own thing. So they're going to be around for at least a little while.
Yes.
So you have Facebook. What do you need to go Google Plus for, right? I mean, that's what I hear from a lot of people, especially from my authors who are having some social media burnout. I mean, let's just face it. We all go through it, right?
Yeah.
The social media overload. So with Facebook, you have your personal profile and your friends.
Yes.
But what happens on Facebook, for most people these days, especially as you change your privacy settings, stays on Facebook. What happens on Google Plus, however, can be much more public. So the interesting thing about Facebook versus Google, or Facebook versus Google Plus, is that Google Plus being connected to Google means that the things that you do on Google Plus can actually impact search results. So we talk about search engine optimization.
Yes, SEO.
SEO, exactly. So what a lot of people don't realize is that all of the things that you make public on Google Plus, and you might have a completely private profile, and that's fine. But if you're somebody who's trying to establish yourself as an expert or maybe as like a video personality, you want to be public on Google Plus, talking about the things that make you appear to be an expert, and that is going to impact search engine results. So if I go on to Google now, and you have just a long list of links and articles and discussions on Google Plus about video programming, let's say. And if I type it into Google Plus, you're going to show up higher on the results than maybe somebody who might even be more known outside of the internet for that, because Google Plus impacts search results. So if you have a Google Plus, you should be using it, especially if you want to be considered an expert in something.
That I did not know. I will have to definitely dig more into Google Plus. Let's talk about being the master opinionator about peanut butter. How did that happen? Tell everyone, how did that happen?
Okay, so peanut butter, Clout.com and I, we have this sort of like, I don't know, love-hate relationship right now because of Peanut Butter 012. So here's what happened with Peanut Butter Gate. So one day on Twitter, I posted that I was so excited because Ben & Jerry's had just come out with a frozen yogurt with peanut butter and bananas. And I know that I'm not alone in this, in this excitement, because when I posted that onto Twitter, I had so many people either retweet it or favorite it or respond to it. It affected my Clout score. Now, do you know about a Clout score?
I think we had talked about this, and I remember I responded back. I was like, peanut butter? How did you... Peanut butter now?
Exactly.
Holy mackerel.
Exactly. Well, so this is why I have a love-hate relationship with Clout. The love side of Clout is that Clout is a website that's set up where as you become an influencer on social media sites like Facebook and Twitter, which right now are the real two main places where it pulls its information from.
Yes.
As you become an influencer on that, you have a certain score that's given to you on Clout. So a really good score to shoot for is like in the 70s or the 80s. Those are really the top influencers. My score, as I checked it today, was 55, so I'm on my way. But a lot of people, when they start out, are usually around like the 15, 16 mark. So you want to keep trying to move that score up. As you move that score up, you qualify for free things. So you might get movie passes. I heard about, this was actually an article in Wired, I think last month, about the Palms Hotel and Casino in Vegas was actually giving more perks to people whose clout scores they secretly checked at check-in. So
isn't that something?
Because if you think about it, you're a business owner. We're at Fat Matt's right now in Oakland. If Fat Matt wants to go on, and that's PH, by the way. PH.
Right.
I've seen
PH.
Matt. It's not fat with an F. Definitely
Right.
a PH. Just want to make sure we say that.
Yes.
So if he wanted to check on the clout scores of everybody who walked in and give, I don't know, an extra side to every person who, or maybe try out a new side to every person who had a top clout score, and those people went on Twitter and on Facebook and said, oh my God, you got to try this new mac and cheese. It's crazy. Then those people have more of an incentive to keep going on clout because they get free stuff and to continue to become more of an influencer. Then he's also targeting the people who have the biggest audiences and the biggest audiences who interact with them. So that's the love of clout. The not so much love of clout. We have an author, David Wolf, who says, I opposite of like this. So my opposite of like with clout is that is peanut butter. So going back to that tweet about awesome yogurt from Ben & Jerry's. Ben & Jerry's, if you're watching this, I will take as much free frozen yogurt with bananas that you want to give me. Sounds great.
Just give me the chocolate.
Just
give me the chocolate.
Just send it.
I'm good. I'm good.
Email one of us. Find us on Twitter.
Yes.
You know. So the downside is that on Clout, it also picks subject areas where you are a top influencer. So right now, I've been working on trying to get my Clout score higher as an influencer in publicity because I'm a publicist.
Right.
Peanut butter for a few weeks was one of my top topics because people liked that one tweet so much about Greek yogurt from Ben & Jerry's. I am now a peanut butter influencer. Now, if I want lots of free peanut butter, which I'm never going to turn down, that's great. You know, I've talked to people who said, well, I really want to be a top influencer in Red Bull because I want all the free Red Bull swag and drink that I can get. That's cool. If that's what you want, awesome. But if you're a professional person and you're trying to really make your way as an expert in a particular field, you probably don't want to be known for peanut butter.
No, not at all. Everyone, we've just been kicking back, learning everything we can about social media with Kat Engh. Now, before we go, I have a small story. We worked the red carpet together.
That's right.
Priest.
That's
Peter, Paul.
Paul Bettany.
Paul Bettany.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
Dashing Paul Bettany.
Yeah, my girl Jessica, where she's working the camera. I'm in the front. I'm at the line. And I don't know, did you hear my voice? So I heard your voice, and I turned, and you, Siddiq? And you turned beet red.
Oh, I always do.
You turned beet red. I'll never forget that.
I can't help it.
Yeah, I said, come up here. Get up here. Get
That's
up
right.
here. Your photographer, get him up here too.
That's right.
Because the red carpets are very, very competitive.
It is.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you, when we're off the air, I'm going to tell her a story about that particular red carpet.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Okay, so everybody, how can they follow you on Twitter? What's your handle on Twitter?
My Twiddle?
Twitter.
You know.
Oh, new website.
That's a new site.
New website.
I'm going to go trademark it later. My Twitter is Kat Engh. That's it. At Kat Engh. Katengh. You can also follow North Atlantic Books at N Atlantic Books.
Okay.
That's Twitter.
That's a wrap, folks. All I can say is, Kat, thanks again for being on the show. Believe me, it has been, I've had the best time, and she's going to help me out with more of the social media stuff because, wow, it's so much.
It's an ocean.
Yes.
And check us out on nabcommunities.com.
Yeah.
Lots of good stuff there.
We're going to talk about martial arts later.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Well, sweet.